Disney is drunk on DEI. Oh, yes. So, obviously Trump came in to power and has established an executive order of no more DEI. Also, the implication is that if you do DEI, well, that is still part and parcel of your work, that he will investigate you, which is justified. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you're a racist or a sexist. One of the two. Doesn't really matter which, but DEI as a product is corporate-backed racism and sexism. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's nonsense. It's people with a victimhood complex and a grievance complex trying to get gives. And Disney is incentivized to continue this because of BlackRock. BlackRock, Larry Fink, make DEI and ESG an integral part of their funding. So it's not a surprise that they're continuing it. But let's wait and see what happens with this administration, this term, this current administration. And it'll be intriguing. So we're going to take a look at a report today. Hit subscribe if you are new here, or indeed you're a returning viewer that has not yet subscribed. It'd be great to have you here more often. So let's dive into it, shall we? Disney defies Trump order on DEI in SEC filing. Admits to tying bonuses to race and sex-based factors. What? Appears to list diversity as a skill. You were born brown. That's a skill. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wow. I can't wait for that hammer to come down on a company like this. Or indeed any company that does this. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's take a look. I'll leave this article linked down below. At a time in which President Trump is slashing DEI initiatives and major corporations are following suit, as they should, Disney's doubled down on its commitment to diversity. So how does Disney define diversity? Effectively by not being a white man. In its recent annual filings with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, so the SEC, the Walt Disney Company showcased unwavering commitment to its controversial diversity, equity and inclusion agenda, whilst companies like Amazon, Walmart, Boeing, they really should have, and Ford are moving away from such initiatives amidst growing national scrutiny and public scrutiny. Remember, the pendulum has swung, mate. Right, the pendulum has swung. America voted in Trump, the anti-DEI. So the pendulum has already swung. The argument of, is the pendulum swinging? No, it's already swung. It's whether companies are going to follow suit or not. And thus, whether the world will begin to change and heal. Disney's doing opposite. Proudly incorporating DEI into its board selection process and executive bonuses. Amazing. Strikingly, Disney made no public announcement or press release accompanying the filing this year, raising eyebrows and questions about whether the company is trying to downplay its ongoing DEI focus in the face of public criticism, which is probably the case, because again, the pendulum has swung. So Disney lists diversity as a skill and also valid experience. What? So Disney's SEC filing emphasizes the diversity of its board of directors. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Boasting that 50% of its members are considered diverse, with 40% non-male and 30% non-white. It's clear from this filing that Disney considers anyone who isn't a white male to be diverse. Yeah, that's true. This is just such nonsense. There you go. Ridiculous, but okay. Surely it should be like, yeah, their tenure, and what have they achieved? Like, this is just utter nonsense. So, however, the filing doesn't stop at celebrating the board's demographics. It shockingly lists diversity itself as a skill and leadership qualification. That's right, ladies and gents. You're brown. You're a leader. You're a born leader. Them pesky, boring white men, they ain't no leaders. grouping it with legitimate credentials like finance, cybersecurity, and strategic transformation. What? That's mental, but okay. The absurdity of equating race or gender with hard-earned expertise should not be lost on anyone. Obviously, meritocracy, please. Can we get back to that? Under a section titled Corporate Governance and Board Matters, Disney explicitly states that board members are evaluated based on how well they reflect the diversity of the company's shareholders, employees, customers, guests, and the communities in which it operates. In other words, identity politics, obviously, not necessarily professional accomplishments, and that is essentially how they're judged. And this is nonsense. This approach may resonate with activists, but it flies in the face of traditional merit-based selection, where qualifications, skills, and proven experience determine leadership. Diversity is not a skill. Does anyone need to hear? Some people clearly need to hear that, but diversity is not a skill. It also flies in the face of President Trump's inaugural remarks. This week I will also, this is what he said, quote, "This week I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colourblind and merit-based, as it should be." So here's the interesting thing. Disney's admission to tying DEI agenda directly impacts the bonuses of its senior executives, including CEO Bob Iger. So among the three, quote, other performance factors used to calculate annual bonuses for named executive officers, Disney lists diversity and inclusion. This is given equal weighting to synergy and storytelling and creativity, placing DEI on par with actual business performance metrics. What? So it doesn't matter that they keep failing at the box office. No, don't worry, because you've got a vagine. This is nonsense. Disney's filing explains that diversity and inclusion OPF is fostering a culture of respect, increasing diversity in executive ranks, and creating entertainment that reflects a broad spectrum of identities and experiences. You know what is funny about this is that this perfectly confirms all those leaked videos that came around. So there you go. Like this is that. This just confirms all of that. That's amazing. That's crazy. So Disney's not so transparent strategy. Interestingly, Disney chose not to issue its usual press release touting the annual filing or put the document on its website for all to see, which is odd. They have done that all the time, basically. So one can't help but wonder if this silence is an attempt to avoid drawing attention to policies that are increasingly controversial with the Trump administration cracking down on DEI, public sentiment shifting. Disney's decision to hide its filing in plain sight may be a tactical move to sidestep backlash, more than likely. What is going to happen with this? I mean, look, at the end of the day, they're tied to DEI whether they like it or not. I mean, they obviously do like it. They can't get enough of it. They're huffing on that DEI. But they're tied to it because of BlackRock and Vanguard. Although I think Vanguard's moved away from it slightly. But what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.